So let's get started. Good afternoon, guys. So I'm going to get started. Okay, so here we are. It's me, Kenichi, and we'll learn about basic scripting in Unity before we can go into the more deep conversation or learning about the augmented reality. So this is actually the fundamental, little bit of fundamental about scripting in Unity. By the way, I will use C# code, so I hope you can get used to it. And okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, here we are at the Unity work area. So this is my sample scene that I already made before in our last sessions. I got a new scene called sample scene. An explanation about what is scene is I already told to you about it in the previous session. So today before we will gonna learn about scripting, I'm gonna just explain a little about the inheritance here in the hierarchy area. So yes, basically this is the default what we get when we are creating a new project. So we get basically two objects, main camera interaction alike, and you can create any object here in the hierarchy area here on the left side. And when you create an object, take an example cube, and we'll create one again, sphere. So you can do a little setting here by putting this cube inside the sphere. What inside is what I mean is if you click this cube object here in the left side and then you kind of drag and drop in the sphere, you will get the cube will be inside the sphere itself. So what do this means literally is the cube is being a child of the sphere object. So what is child and what is parent? So we got a parent and child. Wait a minute. So we got a parent and child here. So what is all about the parent and child? We called it an inheritance. So when you have when you are when your object is a child for parents like this, cube is the child of these pairs. So basically cube are in her cube is having variables that sphere have. Take an example that sphere got position, rotation, and scale, right? So sphere got position, rotation, and scale. So Okay, here my cube. So whenever I move my sphere here, whenever I move to everywhere, the cube will be moved after the parents, I mean the sphere itself. So that's what we call inheritance. Whatever the parents doing, the child will be after it. Yeah, some kind like that. Or if I scaling the object, the cube will be the same. There's a little about inheritance. Okay, so I'm gonna delete my script first. Okay, so we are going to the script, basic scripting right now. So the software that I am using right now is Microsoft Visual Studio 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And we have two softwares that Unity have already decided with. You can use either one, either it's Microsoft Visual Studio or Mono Develop. Yeah, I think it's Mono Develop. So if you got a good RAM or good memory, I think you should use Microsoft Visual Studio. And if you have a little bit not good RAM, you can go doing scripting by using Mono Develop, I think. Anyway, gonna make a script here by making a new folder. Gonna get scripts. I'm gonna make a new script inside the scripts folder here. Okay, I'm gonna delete all the objects first so you don't get confused. Yes, I'm gonna create a script under the scripts folder with right click, create, and C# script. So after you're creating a new script, you have to give it a name. Take example, I'm gonna give a name basic scripting. Like this. So I'm gonna open this script by double click on it. So while we're waiting for my Microsoft Visual Studio to be appeared on my screen. So anything that we will do after this, basically on the script, on the scripting on the Microsoft Visual Studio will appear in the Unity in the console tab. So we have three tabs that I already mentioned before. We got a wait a second. Okay, we got our work area, scene tab, and then we got a game tab, and then last is console tab. So all things that we are doing in these script sessions will be shown in the console tab, basically, yes. Okay, this is the default that you get when you are creating a new script within Unity. So you got this default script shown to you. By default, you got several packages here. We call it packages or collections. So it means that we are gonna using behavior or syntax that comes from Unity inside this package or collections system that collections generate in Unity engine. And the name of our script would be the name of our class. So each script that we make, basically every script that we make is a class, and this class name is same with the name of the file that we type. So the example, I already gave the name basic scripting, and the name of the class is same. So if you got an error by renaming the script name or file name, so you can basically rename the file name after you make, because, well, we might do a mistake sometimes. So I take an example like this. So for example, you rename this file name into basic scripting and you put a 2 behind it like this. You will get an error because the file name and the class name is not same. So what you have to do is, yes, just to make it same. So for example, here in the public class here, just give it an underscore to like what your file name says. That's all. And so that's a class, and inside the class, so all of the code that we're going to make is always inside this class. So class is basically a behavior that you want to make for each object, something like that. And inside the class itself, we got a default functions. So we got two default functions here. It is called start, and void update. So, okay, let's see what this void start and void update do. So I will explain about void start first. Void start is basically anything that you put inside this method or functions. We call it functions or method. It will be executed at the start of the program start. So if you start your Unity, so anything that you put here in the start will be executed. So let's take example. I have debug.log and say hello there. Like this. So if you want to print any words or any strings or any functions, you can use a debug.log. We got a function called debug, and inside that function we got a class called log. Yep. And when you want the script to fully functional, so you have to attach it to the object. So I will attach it to the main camera here. Okay, so I will play the Unity. So we can take a look what will happen at the console tab here. Okay. I got an error. Okay, let's click it here. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one because it caused an error. Hope it works. Yep. Here the console is already printed a hello there, so I put the hello there here, and you cut the output here at the console. It's basically how the start method works. And we got an update. As an update is when the start is being called at the start of the program started, it means that it will be called once, just one time. But update will get each program is refreshed. So actually our application is have a frame rate. What is frame rate? You can Google it later about frame rate. So what is update is when you put a script inside the update syntax. So the script will be executed each frames. So let's take sample here. Debug.block. Here we are, and let's take a look at it. Yep. This is the update function like you can see here in my screen. Or shall I? Yep. Yes. Really, you can take a look at the right side at my console here that I'm highlighted. So you can take a look at this number that keep going up. Well, because I make it a collapse, so you can see the number going up. It means that this function, I mean this text hello I'm update function is being called for each frames. So if you want to take a look at the when you are not using collapses, basically what it shows. So it keeps going. Yeah. So that's what the update is. That's the update functions for. Okay, so now we are going to variable. So we got a variable. So basically, when you are making a class, you need variables to saving some kind of mark. So take example, we got several class. We got int or integer, and we got a string. In my age, we got string, my name, we got integer string, we got bool, and bool is from boolean. integer string ball. Yes. Yes, that's basically a basic 3 strings of class variable that you have to know. We got integer, string, and boolean. So integer is a class that make you able to store a number, basically a number. And string is where you can store like words or words. And boolean is when you can when you the boolean is when you decide whether it is false or true, or true or false. It doesn't matter. So take example. Here I already. So when you want to make a variable, take example for integer. Here I give it in my age. So I give it my age. Then you can store a number inside this variable. So we have a variable my age below the class integer. So how about we store some number inside it? So the store is basically you can just put you can put it in start or
Number password enggak ya?
Cek T1.
Nggak ada gambarnya, Be.
Dulu.
Terus fungsinya room number ini buat apa?
Variables. Tuh, udah tuh. Yes, for printing the variables, you are called it by typing what the variable name say. Like if you got a variables with the name my age, so you have to type my age here. So let's run the Unity and take a look what will happen. So I got 7 in here. So I put my age is 17. That's right, isn't it? Okay. And so by give it a mark into some variable, or when we store a number or everything, basically regarding the what class that we are using. So like this, for example, we call it declarations or initiations. Yeah, we call it this one is declaration or initiations. So we got another way for putting the or store the number. So I got another way for putting the number is to use inside the start, like this. My age equal 70, and what will be printed is my age. So if you are gonna make another words before the variables, you just have to type words, and after that you put a plus before the variable itself. For example, my age is this. So let's take a look. This is all what will happen. So my age is 70. Well, you don't need the calls because there's is anyway. Yes, that's how it works. It's for integers. So how about string? Got string. String is for storing words. Yes, or a group or of alphabet. So I got string, maybe my name here, and how to store words inside my name is same thing with the integers. My name. So after that, I will print out the string. The string. Oops, my name. Okay, that's how basically it works. So let's take a look at the console. Yes, we got my name's Aji, my age 70. And how about if I want to make it into one word letter? I just copy these things in here. Oops. Anyways, yes. So I'm gonna make it comment. So here's a little tips for you when you are needing your script. Yes, you are needing your script not to be executed by the program. You can make it a comment. Make it a comment means that it will not be executed by putting this slash. I don't know if it's slash or backslash. Slash, yes. Double slash here. So this code will not be executed like the other here. And let's take a look at here. We got at the console. Okay, we got my name's Achi and I am 17 years old. Gonna clean up a little bit here. Yes, this is what we got. Basically, my name is Achi and I am 17 years old. That's how it works. Yes, this is about a little bit explanation about variables. And now you're going to functions. Hold a little bit. Hold a second. Gonna drink my water first. Yep, I'm back. So about the functions. So we got a functions like I said earlier. We got a default functions or behavior here. Start and update is default. We got this from Unity itself when we create a new script. So I'm not going to use the update. So for now, I'm going to delete this one. Or no. I'm just letting the update. So I'm gonna make a new functions that I made myself. So basically, you can make the same way like the other, like what. Yes, like what the Unity already did for you. So we got a void and the name of the functions. So I want to make let's take example. Let's see about me. I got a functions. I call about me. Yep, back. So you got about me, and basically I will put all of this integer and string variables the inside functions that recently I made. So I'm just copying this one. Oops, made a mistake. Here, here. So I got a functions called about me. I got my age and I got my name. Where's my but my age and my name. So for the functions, is functions always what you have to know about the function always have a name for itself, like about me, start, and update. So for the naming itself, there's several names that already being used by the Unity. So you can use a start and update for your own functions. So despite that, you have to make a new one like about me or anything beside that. So don't worry about that. If you make a new or not new, if you make a mistake about making the same functions that you are creating with the what Unity already made, you will get a notification. So don't worry about it. So yeah, you basically have a name for the functions and return value. So for the return value, what is void? Void is, yeah, like you already know what void mean is nothing, so it returned nothing. So it will return nothing. So it's a kind different when you put the return value into integer like this. So it should be returning an integer. We will talk about later about this return value. So for now, let's just use void. Void is means that it will return nothing. So basically what you have for this function is when it's giving storing an integer with 17 and then storing string into the my name variables with ACC. So yes, this is basically it that you have to do first. And if you want to call, so you will need to call this function if you want to make it shown in the screen or make it work. So what you have to do is just call the method like this in the start, of course, about me, or you can do it in update, but because we need it just to be shown just one time or once, so I will do that in the start functions here. Okay, so let's take a look first when we are doing nothing up after we make functions here, right? Okay, I'm gonna yep. This is what will happen if we are not calling these functions. I mean, what function that I already made. We got nothing because we stored. Yes, we haven't we have not calling the functions itself. So there's no names here, and it stores nothing with the h2. So to make this works, we need to call the functions by putting the name of the functions here like this. So let's take a look. So this is what we get when we call the functions. Yeah, it's not different from before, but yeah, it's like more clean. I mean, your script is more clean if you do it this way. Anyway, yes, let's talk again about the return value. So yeah, so for the return value itself, I'm gonna make another functions. Wait, my full name. Oops, sorry, it's not a void because we got a string. Yep. Yeah. So I got a string, my full name here. So basically what I need to do is just, yeah, putting or storing a data like this. Okay. Um, my last, oops. So I'm gonna make another variables here. Let's make it my last name. This is my last name here. And For the return value beside the void, the other return value other than void should have a return value that called return here, and is the variable what you're gonna return for. And I'm gonna call the method my full name. Yep. Oops. Found a mistake here. Cut dollar's name and I hope it works. Let's take a look at the console. Mas, di sini ada ini loh. Okay, this is what was I get. My name, my last name is Jackson. So, what will happen if you are not giving the return here? You will cut an error in your console. So, oops. So let's take an example by make it into the comment. See, we got an error because we are not giving it a return value. So you will get a notification in your console in paste scripting in the my field name. No, not all code paste return value. Yep. So you can find it by reading those error notifications. Can return this one. So, okay, the next thing is about a passing parameter. So you can passing your own parameter into inside here. So take a sample my last name. So let's take a string here with the last name. The name of last name. I'm sorry. I press some shortcut. Oh my god. Okay. I got a string my last name and so for example I store my last name here and then I want to after I call this method then I don't have to type my last name again in the my full name string here. So what I get is my by putting string last name or and get to string last name and Got last name. Yeah. So yeah, what you have to do here is give it the application that you know that we got a same name here. So when you are out here, so we got a my name and last name. So we call it global initializations because this variable can be used in a global. It means in all of this class. Okay. So what you have to do here is because you are using the same name with the global variables, you have to do this. Basically this dot my and do for the same thing. Then what you want to return is, for example, my name. Let's take a look. My full name. So I forgot to put the method here, so you need to pass the parameter here. My full name, you got your, and then last name. Yep. Let's see if it works. Oops, got it. Oops, yeah. Wait a second. Okay, so I got another way. Just delete this one and I made a mistake. I should put the variable here. Okay. Um, okay, let's see. Yep. So we got my full name is Achi, which is something like what I type here. If you want to give it a space, just give it a space. So just like this. Give it space. And you give it a little here. And let's take a look. Yep, we got here. My full name is Ajib Saxena. Yes, for the that's for the functions. So, I give you some little time if you got any questions. So I'll take a break about 5 minutes, so I can hear if you got any questions. You can type into the Q&A column chat or the usually column chat that you can use for talk about. Feel free. Yes, not feel free to asking to me. Yes, especially about the this session. Yes, about the session today. If you have any questions regarding the basic scripting until the what I have already explained about the functions, you may type it into the chat. Okay.
Nhảy 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 laranja es el el que es guys el que es
Putar kanan dulu loh. Iya, kak ini kan nih. Iya. Kak foto nih. Anak suara itu. Tuh, kalau
Okay, yeah, got a
ini mana video
questions.
toh? Ya sini sih.
Got a question for. Got a questions from L. Loliet. How about function by value and by reference? That's what best by value and by reference. Oh, I already explained about the best by value um, recently. Yeah. What I'm doing here is can call it by pass by value. Is the simplest thing for pass by value, and well, it works for pass by reference too. So you might the same explanation for pass by reference. Second questions from another question from Cyper. Can Unity use C++ not C sharps? No, I'm afraid it cannot, because Unity just using three language programs to works with. They are C sharp, JavaScript, and last one. I forgot about last one. Yes, what I remember is the Unity is using C sharp and JavaScript. Yes. I got questions from Spencer to make a button, then how to move from home to credits and from credits to about. Yes, how to make a button, I will explain in the next sessions of our video conference. So I hope you can get patience until we are in the next sessions.
Suara itu.
So for the next sessions, I will explain to you about the user interface that will include how the button works and then another user interface. Yes, and how to move from the home to credits. That I will cover those questions to the next sessions too. Yes. Yeah. So for you are that wondering, my webcam. I am not turned on my webcam because I got lag connections here, so I want my connection not to be burdened by my um, video streaming, so I turn off my webcam. Video streaming. Yeah, you can't see my face right now, but maybe I will activate again later. Okay, let's get started again. Hey, wait a second, I got a Q&A. Okay, I got last questions before we can continue. What version of the Microsoft Visual Studio that we can use? Well, Microsoft Visual Studio that I am using right now is 2017. It comes with the Unity, so when you install Unity, the installer will say if you want to install Microsoft Visual Studio 2. Yeah, just use those versions. So, yep. Okay, let's continue. I will. Oh yeah, I got questions from earlier. So what this dot used for? Oh, okay, this one, right? Okay, this one. This I cut here. This my name and this my equals my name. So this yes the okay, this what it is. So this in this code means that it refers to the variables in the global, as in the global. So take a look here. My my name. I get my name right. My name equals my name here. So this in front of this code, like what I highlight here, is referring into this variable, this variable by the name my name. So this one is for here. So this one is the variable that you made for your own syntax. Yep. Why this? It just happened because I gave the same name with the global variable. If you get a different name, you don't have to give this like what I am doing here. So for example, if you got here string my name 2 and string last name 2, you just have to type here like this. My name 2, last name 2, yes, like this. So well it means that my name here will be stored the data from this past value. So I mean, if you pass a value here, I already passed value here in my methods here. I got Aji and Wijaksono. So my name too is Aji and last name too is Wijaksono. So putting here like here, it means that my name will be equal as Aji and last name, oops, last name will be equal Wijaksono. And what I return is both of the variables at the same time. So yes, I hope it answered your questions. Who asked these questions? Oh, L Lovely. I hope it answers your questions. So let's turn it back to Okay. So for the next, okay, for the next things is I will explain a little about if syntax. So if syntax is, we are gonna use it a lot. So I'm gonna explain it a little. So we got if syntax here. If blah blah blah, then blah blah blah. So you can use if by see what I'm doing here. So so let's take a sample. I will use the if syntax inside my about me method or function. So if here you will have to put the expressions about the expressions there. So let's take a look. If my age is older than 17, then what will happen? That basically what will be covered in this script, in these functions. So if my age older than 17, I want to have a ID card, example ID card. I have an ID card. Else, if my age is under 17, it will show or it will say that I don't have ID. So let's set my age here 18 and with my age about yes, and let's see what will happen in our script. Okay, wait a second. Why is this?
Relax.
Okay, here we are. Going back to my so here we are. I have an ID card. Yes. Is it true? Yes, that's true because my age is older than 18 years old, so I have an ID card, right? That's basically what how to use if. And the next thing is for looping. We have a loop. Yep. Yes, we cut a loop. Let's take an example here. Yep. So we got a syntax for loops like this, for, or you can just use do or while. So I'll just cover it for. And the next script, you can take a look at the Unity website. Maybe for integer j equal 0 and j 10. So this is how to use the looping. So if you want to show more than one data, you can use for, or you can use looping for make it simple. So I got a 10 a console showing that it already printed 10 times. Yes, my full name is Ajib Jackson. So that's how you use for. For how to use it is you just have to type for, and then inside those script or functions, yes, type it what you want to show, and inside the parameter you have to type how many times you want to show. Like here in my sample, I want to show it 10 times, so I will type I got an integer j with the value of 0, and if j is less than 10, it will increment itself. What increment is to add itself by adding with 1. Yes, it's basically saying that j plus 1, then yes, that will be looping endlessly until the condition here is met. So until j is become 9, it will stop. That's basically how the loop is work. And after the looping, we have scope and access. So for the scope and access, for scope or access is we got three things that you have to know. We got a public, we got public, and we got private, we got protected. We are rarely using this one, so you just have to know this too. Just like what you already seen in the class, it have a scope access as a public. It means that it can be accessed by the other class, not all, the class itself. Yes. So this scope access can be put before or in front of any variables or in any functions. So like the hand sample here, I have private. If I want my variable to be cannot be accessed outside this class, so I will put a private here and then right here, and then we cut functions. If I make it private, then I can access it from the other class. Yep, basically like this. So for the default, if you are not putting any scope or access before the return value, it will stay as a default. Default is kind same with the public here, so it can be accessed. But it cannot be called. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's the last thing that I want to cover. So that's for today. If you got any questions, please type into the column chat. We will meet again at the Thursday. Yes, we meet again at Thursday. I will explain about user interface, which is a button, canvas, and how to make a button works, canvas, anything that come with the user interface. I will explain in the Thursday. So yes, that's for today. If you got a question, please type in the column chat, in the chat column, I mean. I got the tips. If you want to learn by yourself, you can go to the Unity website. You get the documentation and the tutorials to begin with. Yes, if you want to explore by your own self, that will be better. Of course, we got the UI button here. Well, it's automatically. You can access it by going to the unity3d.com/learn/tutorial. I will copy and paste into the content. Yes, you can. Well, basically they are giving a lot of explanation about lot of things that interest you. Yep. Okay. So while I'm waiting for the questions. Oh yeah, we already recorded each of our video conversation, so don't worry, we can upload it. That's going for today's sessions too. So for the last session, we are still haven't upload it into the YouTube, so I hope you can be patient for that. I hope tomorrow you can access it. Okay. Do you have any questions? Okay, I will remind you about the script. So for the script to be fully functional, or if you want your script to be work, so you have to attach it to the object, whatever object in your Unity. A second. Yes, if you want your script to be working, you have to attach in your object here in your hierarchy or in your Unity work of area. If you have, like here example, I already attached to the main camera. If you have another object here as a cube, you can attach it to the cube or whatever you want. The best thing, or the good thing to do is you have to attach the script to the object that you want the function works to. Yes. So for example, if I have functions to moving an object, I would like to my cube to move. Then I will attach the script into my cube. A question from Sohyun: will the session be uploaded to YouTube? Yes. Okay, if you don't have any questions, let's end the sessions today. Thanks for attending the session. So let's meet again at the Thursday. And if you got any question, please you can maybe discuss with your friend at the Telegram group and ask the admins teams. Yep. See you guys. Thanks for attending the sessions. So see you at the Thursday. See ya. Thanks.